Yes, I'm Asian. And yes, I have coronavirus, but I did not get it from China. I got it in America, in New York City. And despite what certain political leaders want to call it, I don't consider the place where it's from as important as the people who are sick and dying. If I did, I would call this thing the New York virus, but that would be silly, right? Please stop the prejudice and senseless violence against Asian people. Randomly beating elderly, sometimes homeless Asian Americans is cowardly, heartbreaking, and it's inexcusable. A lot of younger people can carry the virus without having any symptoms whatsoever. That was not me. I was sick. I still am, but thankfully for me, it wasn't a matter of life and death. But even though I'm smiling and upbeat right now, for several days, I was in bed. So for all those out there, especially teenagers and millennials who think this is not serious, please know that it is. And if you treat this without care, you are potentially endangering the lives of millions of people, including your loved ones. So for the sake of everyone else, please follow the guidelines. Socially distance, self-isolate, stop touching your face, and of course, wash your hands. So first, the details. For the past several weeks, I was in New York shooting a role on a TV series where, ironically, I play a doctor who gets recruited to a hospital to help patients during a flu pandemic. Now, when the news of the virus hitting America started coming in, that show, like eventually all the others, stopped production. And when it did, the first thing I wanted to do was go back to Hawaii and to my family. Now, it's important for you guys to know that I was asymptomatic during all of this time. As the flight was close to landing, I started noticing some scratchiness in my throat, which is unlike how I usually get sick. So when I landed, I called my family doctor in Hawaii, and he told me to monitor my symptoms. To be safe, when I got home, I quarantined myself in a room in the house and tried to rest on my own. But later that night, I started feeling tightness in my chest, body aches, and my temperature started to rise. So he then told me to get tested. So the next day, I went to a drive-through testing facility that had just opened here in Honolulu. They told me that I would have my results back in 3 days, and that was Wednesday morning. And in the meantime, my doctor prescribed some medication, and I went straight home. I self-isolated the entire time, and even though I was with my family, I was in an entirely separate part of the house. With the help of the medication and bed rest and liquids and, of course, my loving family, I actually started feeling better the day after, and I started feeling a little better the day after that. And today, even though I'm not 100%, I'm pretty close.